Alright, what's good? This is BH Varanus. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over treating wood for your enclosure. A lot of people do this for aquariums. This is for aquarium owners. This is for monitor owners. Like I said, because I'm pro monitor, because that's what I have, and we don't have a lot of videos. Alright, what I did was I went to our area park up here in the Northeast. Up in that park, when it comes down to soaking your wood, what a lot of people are concerned with is tannins. Tannins, T-A-N-N-I-N. You can Google it, find out what it is. Basically what tannins are, you can think of it as a precautionary chemical that plants release in order to protect themselves from the elements and other organisms, i.e. animals. Okay, so you have to take these tannins out before you actually put them in an aquarium, if we were talking about aquariums, but right now I'm talking about monitor enclosures. One of the reasons you won't see the fish or the aquatic animals in a particular area actually hurt, and this is my theory, is that the tannins themselves are actually filtered out of the system through current, water flow, or depending on how big the body is. When you see trees laying on around the edges of the shoreline, whether it be the lake or the actual sea itself. So what I did right here was this. I got this yesterday. My girl went out, forced my girl to go out with me, and we went out and I got a huge piece of wood. This wood actually isn't big enough, but it's just big enough to where I can work with it. This right here is the part of the wood that hasn't been treated. This part here has been treated. Okay? What I did was, usually they tell you to soak it in boiling water to kill all of the tannins. Tannins are what they make the water change color. So like I said, another way to look at tannins is actually the reason that wine, for you people that are old enough to drink, and kids don't go and try a glass of wine to see what I'm talking about. Unripe fruit, like unripe banana or pineapple or something like that taste, that astringent taste you get from that in wine, that is actually the tannins working right there. So that's one of the things. It's a very bitter taste, kind of like wants to turn you off from the thing. It also can be considered poisonous and hurtful to animals as well. So the thing you want to do is precaution before you put any type of wood from your cage inside, especially if you have a semi-aquatic, like you guys that got water monitors. I have an ornate monitor. You want to go ahead and try to get those tannins out. A couple different ways is a lot of people like to use sea salt. Another way is to use baking soda. What I use, which I don't really recommend, because you guys might not know what you're doing, because you really have to soak the wood out. Like I have 1 week to do this because I'm building a new enclosure. So what I do is I use about 10% bleach. I have this huge tub. I threw some bleach in there, and I did half and half, and I'll be doing the center later. Okay, so this half, and I'll do it for maybe like 6 hours per piece because the bleach is actually eating away at it. Okay, so as you can see, it kind of changed the color, sped up the process. The wood is real soft right now, so I have to be very, very careful. When it dries back out, it'll get its actual structural integrity back a little bit. This part right here is the part that hasn't been treated, so you can see the difference. This is how the wood usually initially looked. Okay? So, like I said, right now, I'm trying to get all the color, all the dyes, and the organisms that are in there. Because when I put it in her cage, she's in an isolated water area, aquatic area. Okay? That area, that filtration, even though my filtration system is strong, I still can't guarantee that all the tannins will actually be out of it. So, like I said, I'm making sure I get them all out. So I soak each side for about 4 hours and about 10% bleach. Usually I would take baking soda or sea salt, put it in the same type of container, a little bit bigger, put a top on it, and submerge it for about 3 weeks. Change the water as it darkens up. Okay, if you boil it, which is another way to do it, if you have a smaller piece of wood, you boil it for about, I'm going to say about 20 minutes, put a lid on it, and boil it twice. Once is never really good enough. You just want to make sure that you don't get any type of toxins, because I'm not sure if this is oak, black willow, or sycamore. The area I got it from, they have a lot of different deciduous trees. Deciduous means, well, you guys can Google that. Okay, I'm not going to go through a ionic exchange for resins. You guys can look that up if you want to. Have fun with that. As far as bleach is concerned, and me using bleach, people need to understand that there's about 3 different types of bleach. The sun actually provides one type of bleach that's actually from the energy. It has to do with photons and everything else. And if you notice, that's where the whole driftwood thing comes from. So that's where people's like, oh, well, just take the piece of wood and sit down in the sun. It has to be extremely hot. It doesn't work all the time. Okay? So that's one form of bleach. The other form is the chlorine base. It's like sodium chloride something. I forget the actual name of it. But that's the form that I'm using right now. So after I do this, what I'll be doing, I'll be actually drying this out. Then I'll be taking the sea salt, and I'll be letting it sit in sea salt for an additional 2 days. Then I'll let it dry out. And then I'll go ahead and it'll actually go inside of, I'll sand certain parts of it down. Okay? Saw different parts of it. I'll actually put it inside of the enclosure itself. Got some holes right here. We can see some organisms were in there, some plants and animals. whatever, chewing away at it. So it should be cool. Thanks.
We don't get down like